So the Winter Classic ratings came in and they were horrible.
Oh, my
Terrible Winter Classic ratings.
So I've come to the conclusion that the NHL needs to take a bit of an NBA approach to this thing.
Oh, no. Different colored ice?
That would be so sick. Blue ice.
Oh, no.
Be like a Breaking Bad theme.
Oh,
one.
dear God.
They need to step away from the idea of like Chicago, St. Louis. Like, okay, it's Bedard versus who? Braden Shen.
Dylan Holloway, 13 goals on the year.
Who cares?
No one.
But I like this new idea of them being like Crosby, Ovechkin, last dance vibes, last Winter Classic. They have to get into the idea of like player versus player.
Okay.
I think those are the storylines.
Mhm.
So like McDavid versus Matthews. You could even do something like, if you wanted, this one's maybe a little bit out there because of the location of the teams, but like Hughes brothers. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's what's going to sell. Like nobody in the NHL outside of St. Louis gives a flying shit about the St. Louis Blues.
They should have done Chicago Edmonton.
That would have been great.
Bedard McDavid.
Exactly. Or do even like, maybe this one wouldn't work as well, but like San Jose, Chicago, the two last first overall picks. Like it's more of a storyline.
We were talking on 1440 to a guy from Seattle, like their beat reporter. We're talking to this dude about the Kraken and the Utah Hockey Club. And he goes, well, Utah and Seattle have a huge rivalry. I'm like, what? Because the NBA, the Supersonics used to hate the Jazz.
Really?
The fact that Utah and Seattle don't like each other, who the fuck knew that?
It does make sense. I was listening to the radio and he said that too. And it makes a lot of sense because he was also talking about how that game they played just before, I think it would have been Friday or Thursday against Vancouver, was the first time it felt like it was a legit rivalry.
Yeah.
I almost feel
Making
like
them all walk in too is such bullshit.
the novelty is kind of worn off of it.
That's all it is, yeah.
Because they didn't do one for a while, right? Then they brought it back and now every single year they're doing it.
Did you like the Heritage Classic in Edmonton?
I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, you didn't go. Did you go?
I had an issue and I was spending it in
your
a parking
car was
lot.
Stuck.
They were going to tow it, so I had to sit in it the entire game.
Neither of you guys are great for this then, but
But I listened to the entire game, tweeted the whole thing.
being there was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's all it's for. It's
It's not a Super Bowl. You can't market it like Discover Card presents. Like, who gives a shit? That's what I say.
It's like the All-Star game. It's not for people at home. It's for the market and the marketing. It's like being in Toronto for the All-Star game was fun.
There are no All-Star games, though, in 2025 and beyond that are good. Like the NBA All-Star game,
they all
no one
stink.
cares. The NFL Pro Bowl, no one gives a shit.
But being there was cool. Your first ever All-Star game when we went.
It was fun. Yeah.
So
On
it's-
site, right?
Yeah, on site. So if you're on site and in like Heritage Classic, great. Do you think any other fan base outside of Edmonton and Calgary could tell you one thing that happened in that Heritage Classic? Nope.
Well, the other part about it too that kind of helped was two things. One, McDavid returned. So that was an unscripted storyline that just helped it out.
Didn't even remember that.
You don't remember? He was injured right before, and that was like a big storyline coming in.
Okay, and they were tempted to fire Jay Woodcroft before it. That's all I remember.
Second thing, that was the only game on at that time. Like they had other games after the Winter Classic.
Yeah, they did.
Like the Oilers played that night.
They did.
And I will tell you more about that Oilers game when they played Utah.
I know, but that's almost making my point.
But like the point is like make it your headline. Make it your like event of the day. New Year's Eve, Winter Classic. That's how the NHL ends the year. Every single year, it is the last game of the year is your Winter Classic game. You're almost forcing people to watch it. I was not forced to watch the Winter Classic this year to get my fix of hockey because not the NHL's fault necessarily, but Canada played the USA in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. I would just do it on January 1, I think. You either kick it off or end the year with it.
You want to change the format of the Winter Classic? All 32 teams play at once.
All outside.
All
on one
outside.
sheet of ice, 32 nets, 32 goalies, mayhem.
And if
32
someone's hurt,
pucks.
they lay there.
Yep. That's right. Play him as she lies.
Yep.
I would change it. And I saw a picture of Ovi and Crosby when they were both young. It must have been first, second year in the year for either one of them. And they were in like their classic Penguin and Caps jerseys. They have to wear those jerseys for the event too. They have to.
One thing American generally broadcasters do well is tell the storylines of athletes playing each other. Like I think the NFL does a brilliant job of doing that. You can tune in on any given week, not know what's going on, and throughout the broadcast, they'll hit you with a couple storylines as to why, like, the defensive lineman's dad was the offensive coach for the guy on the other team, and they're finally fighting after 15 years of bullshit. The NHL doesn't do that.
Well,
It's Jack and Louie talking about episode 4 of fucking Gilligan's Island or some shit. Like there's.
That's so funny you bring that up because last night the Vikings and Lions played each other. Justin Jefferson went to Louisiana State University, and the guy who is, I guess, guarding him the whole game, the cornerback, went to Louisiana Tech University. You would literally have, I don't even know who the player was on Detroit, to be honest, but they like made it a storyline within the game. Like just kind of coincidences like that. But it's like, you're right. They do a great job of doing that. And that's why it's the most profitable league in the world.
Yep. I think on its own by revenue, it's like the 19th richest country in the world, the NFL.
Damn.
The 90th
based on revenue is like their GDP.
That is insane.
That's insane.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.